Very quiet.
Use that sound you've spoken to previously.
For the 751st time today, I'll bang the hammer once more. Call the meeting to order. Members, may I invite you to join me in the opening prayer? Almighty God, the source of knowledge and understanding, guide the minds of those of us who are about to take counsel together on matters concerning the county, that in our debate and in our decisions, we may faithfully discharge our duties of office and promote the health, safety and well-being of those we seek to serve. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. 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 Fellow councillors, officers and members of the public who are watching, welcome to this evening's special council meeting. We are here in the museum again as we were for annual council. So please can I remind members that as we are wearing masks and relying on one large microphone at the front of the seating, to please speak clearly and loudly and to raise your hand should you wish to speak. Governance staff will help to administer the meeting by taking the votes. I'm not expecting to this evening, but if we get close to 9:30 and it is clear that the business has not been concluded, then I will propose from the chair an extension of 30 minutes until 10 p.m. So before I move to the agenda proper, this point of procedure, I will ask Mark, before I move to the agenda proper, as a point of procedure, I will ask Mark to leave the room before we get to item 7 on the agenda, the appointment of the Chief Executive. Once we have debated the report and members have made their decision, I will ask Mark to rejoin us. The first item on the agenda is apologies. Have you got any apologies?
Yes, Chair. We've got apologies from Councillor Coleman, Councillor Burrows, Councillor Blanksby,
and Councillor Webb.
Councillor Webb, sorry.
Yeah. Therefore, we will be voting on 22. No other apologies. Chairman's announcements, they have been circulated prior to the meeting. Announcements from the leader, members of the cabinet, head of paid service. I have been advised that there are no announcements to be made this evening. Declarations of interest. In accordance with the regulations, members are invited to declare any disclosable interest under the Code of Conduct and the nature of those interests in respect of items on this agenda, and or indicate a section 106 of the Local Government Finance Act 1992 applies to them. Do we have any declarations of interest this evening? No. Petitions, declarations and questions from members of the public. To receive any petitions, deputations and questions received from members of the public in accordance with the provision of Procedure Rule 28. The total time allowed for this is 30 minutes. Petitions, deputations and questions will be dealt with in the order in which they were received, and any which are not considered within the time limit shall receive a written response after the meeting. There have been no questions. Thank you. Questions from members of the council. To receive any questions submitted from members of the council in accordance with the provision of Procedure Rules 30 and 38. Again, I have been advised that there are no questions have been submitted. At this point, as previously stated, I will ask Mark to leave the room. Thank you, Mark. Governance will ask you to rejoin us when we have concluded this item. Appointment of Chief Executive. This is the report 73/2021 before you, and I will hand over to the leader to report to the council. Councillor Hemsley.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Mark Andrews stepped into the interim CEO role last year at probably the most inopportune moment. And Mark has taken the leadership of the organisation and helped steer RCC through some uncharted territory while supporting the organisation and the residents of Rutland. It's a steep learning curve and it has been very intense. So when the Chief Officer Appointment Panel, chaired by Councillor Gordon Brown, unanimously supported Mark's appointment to Chief Executive Officer, and in discussion with the group leaders and Cabinet that this was absolutely the right choice for Rutland. So it is a great pleasure that on this recommendation of the Chief Appointment Panel that we approve the appointment of Mark Andrews as CEO. I'm looking for a seconder, please. Thank you.
Does anybody else want to speak? No?
I will, Chairman.
Fellow councillors, I think we are really very, very lucky to have Mark, because he is the calibre of person that Rutland needs and appreciates. He did an outstanding job pulling together the People's Directorate, innovated changes, and altogether has done an exceptionally good job. And I certainly look forward very much to seeing what he can do to our council in the coming years. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Cross. Anybody else? No? So can I have a vote, please? All in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Well done, Mark. Congratulations. Item 8, Senior Management Team Appointments. This is a report number 72/2021 before you. There are 3 recommendations and I intend to take all 3 en bloc unless there are any objections. Mark, would you like to introduce the report?
Thank you, Chairman. It's been an interesting and challenging period for the council, and now's the time for us to reset and then kick on. I think our first priority is stability of leadership. So following your decision along that line, I'm requesting that council make permanent the current temporary senior management structure, approve the recruitment process for said structure, and then approve the utilisation of resources to tackle some leadership issues elsewhere in the organisation. Although I do anticipate that there will be a statement as we work through those issues. Thank you, Chairman.
Or any questions? Anybody? Yeah, can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Hemsley, seconder. Councillor Waller. Any questions? So I can take 1, 2, and 3 all together. Is everybody?
I'd like to speak.
Yes, sorry, yeah.
Thank you. All I want to say is, clearly I've seconded this, so I'm totally in agreement, and I'm in agreement they're taken all together. But I would like to draw colleagues' attention to three in particular. I think it's absolutely essential that we give our Chief Executive the opportunity to look at where the gaps are and fill them and not push for any savings to be savings if he judges that we need to spend the money on staff elsewhere. And I completely support that third one in particular. And I just wanted that on record, please.
Thank you. Anybody else? So can I take 1, 2 and 3 on block? I think we all agreed to that. All in favour? Unanimous, unanimous. Thank you. There was no other business. Thank you, councillors. 7:10. Call the meeting closed at 7:10. Well done.